Oh, time. Time. Time magazine. Um, I don't know what they're smoking over there, but I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a shock. It's really not. But Time magazine names Dragon Age the Veilguard as the best game of 2024. Now, keep in mind, Time magazine is a very respected, somehow still respected magazine. It's been around for a very long time. So what they say is kind of treated like gospel. Um, so Time magazine naming Dragon Age the Veilguard as the best game of 2024. Also, Adam. Adam, leave me alone, Grandpa. I'm sleeping. Anyway, the mainstream media continues to expose their bias for games that push a progressive pro-LGBT QIASTUV agenda by calling Dragon Age the Veilguard the best game of 2024. Like, yeah, here's like other games that Elden Ring, Astrobot, which at the Video Game Awards basically won everything. Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Metaphor Refantasio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So, of all these games, they picked this crap. But there's no bias or anything. The 2024 Game Awards have come and gone, but the backlash stemming from several controversial snubs is far from over. The wildly popular Black Myth Wukong, the Player's Choice Black Myth Wukong won the Player's Voice Award despite losing out on Game of the Year to Sony exclusive Astrobot. Stellar Blade, another massive Sony exclusive, was left off several categories. Yeah, I noticed that. I really didn't see it anywhere. There was a few categories where it was there, but for the most part, it's like it's so much better than the other games that they were listing, and yet it wasn't there. Was eventually defeated by Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I don't know how the hell that happened. In the best score and music category. Oh yeah, it was just for the best score and music. I mean, Final Fantasy music is really good. As such, it has become exceedingly clear to the majority of gamers that the gap between actual gamers and those in game media has never been wider. Just like their buttholes on a Friday night. In a move that seemed like an obvious attempt to incite outrage, Time released their top 10 best video games of 2024. I'm sorry. Star Wars Outlaws, Alan Woke, Rebirth, the Veilguard. What are you people thinking over there? How is this even on the list? With several extremely questionable selections making it onto the list. The most notable titles that were left off were Space Marine 2 and Stellar Blade. Two games that were both financially successful and very well received by audiences. Yeah, how the hell does Star Wars Outlaws, a game that didn't even really sell even 1,000,000 copies, and the Veilguard, same thing, it took 2 months to get over 1,000,000 copies. How the hell are those even on as best game? Because this is why. Oh, checking boxes. That's what we're doing. That's insane. It is almost impossible to discern what Time was thinking. Not much at all. I mean, we know what they were thinking. There were two Alan Wake DLCs that share the number 6 spot, yet no inclusion of the Shadow of Erdtree, the DLC for 2022 Game of the Year winner Elden Ring. Alan Wake 2 is a title famously connected to DEI consulting firm Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, again, it's like, how are these There are so many other better games, and yet these financial flops are considered as game of the year for them. Like, if you enjoy the game, that's great. That doesn't make it financially successful, and it doesn't make it a good game. Star Wars Outlaws, yeah, the game was buggy. No one played it. I don't even think. I mean, I don't even remember seeing any spoilers for the game because it's like I don't even think anyone even got that far in the game before they just quit. Star Wars Outlaws making the list at number 8 is even more laughable given that the title has yet to sell 2 million copies and has been an absolute public relations nightmare for Ubisoft. Furthermore, dropping Helldivers 2 all the way to down to 10 behind Lego Horizons Adventures, which no one really seemed to like either. A game that had an all-time peak on Steam of 602 players is a blatant display of disrespect for the developers and player base. Most egregious, however, was their placement of Dragon Age the Veilguard at number 1. This title from BioWare, the latest entry in the Dragon Age franchise after a 10-year hiatus, has been mocked and ridiculed by players far and wide for its heavy-handed use of things such as pronouns, non-binary characters, top surgery scars, and incredibly amateur story writing. Yeah, the story is bad. The story is bad. The romancing and all that sounds like it was written by people who have never, ever flirted with anyone in their lives. Or have never had anyone flirt with them. I've said this before. It sounds like they read a fanfic and then made a fanfic based on that fanfic of and just made a Dragon Age. That's how bad it is. Some of the stuff, they're talking about consent and stuff like that. And then you have Tosh like, quick, think about us having sex. And then she just gets real up and close, gets him against the wall. I'm like, I'm sorry. If this was someone like a male doing this and someone who you didn't agree with, you'd be calling assault right now. So why is it okay for Tosh to do it? Tosh, also the same character who, I want people to respect who I am, while also not respecting people and how they identify. Like Emmerich, she keeps calling him certain names, and he's like outright like, hey, can you stop calling me that? But he's like, well, that's what you are. So you want us to respect your pronouns and that you identify as non-binary, but you don't want to respect anyone else's how they identify. Exactly how it is for these people. They want you to respect them, but they don't feel the need to give you respect in return. Clearly a self-insert. Not everyone who's, not everyone non-binary or trans or whatever is like that, but the people writing these characters, that's exactly how they are. They expect you to respect them, but they don't feel the need to give you any respect in return because they feel that the respect that you give them is a demanding, absolute thing. It is required. So you have Tosh. I'm non-binary and I go by these pronouns now, and I want people to respect me, but then she's not respecting anyone else. So Dragon Age the Veilguard failed so miserably at appealing to mass audiences that even the Game Awards only gave it a nomination in the accessibility category, likely due to their contracting of known accessibility consultant and trans representation enthusiast Laura Kate Dale. Of course, it's the blue hair. Regarding Dragon Age the Veilguard, Richard Newby wrote for Times, first, hats off to what has to be the most advanced character creation system ever brought to video games. It's possible to spend hours just fine-tuning the look of your character. Yeah, even people who have hated the game, they said that the character creation is probably a lot more fun than the game itself. They're like, I've had more fun with the character creation screen than I have with the actual game. Because of the customization and being able, look at Az. His character, hang on, for people who haven't seen it. Like, this is what you were able to, Like, look at that beauty right there. You've got the nose that goes like that, blue hair, pink eyebrows with a unibrow, a green beard, luscious lips. Um, you can't see the bottom, but he gave himself the top surgery scars. It was, I think he gave himself jaundice as well. Um, so also I think he gave him cataracts. You can see their eyes are kind of milky, but yeah, the character creation screen is so much more fun than the game itself. It's possible to spend hours just fine-tuning a character, everything from bone structure to tissue placement is considered from every angle. The character creator is full of inclusive, not only in terms of race, but also gender, and it's inclusive of non-binary pronouns and flexibility with physical characteristics like hairstyles. Unfortunately, if you're a woman who has a big bust and you want to see yourself represented in the game, you're shit out of luck. Because they basically have just, A-sized tits here. So if you got a B or higher, you're left out. So much for representation. But hey, if you want a penis, a woman, female body with a penis, oh, you can do that though. You can do that. But don't be asking for no big titties. Because fuck women. Fuck women. That's how they feel. They don't want real women. They want fake women. They want the dudes with the large bulging Adam's apples with a huge bulge in their pants. Those are the women they want. They don't want biological women. They want the chicks with dicks. Before the game even begins, there's an effort to make Veilguard feel personal and truly yeah, and that's where it ends. That's where it ends. Damn, you need to fire your gaming journalist because Veilguard flopped harder than Black Adam and had just as much marketing. And you guys rank it #1. Yeah. Sadly, this is nothing new, as we see many access media outlets praise this game for pushing far-left LGBTQ agenda. Inverse recently put out an article calling Dragon Age's transgender game director Corrine Bush the ruler of RPG, conqueror of haters. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because pushing the players away was so worth it. 2 months later, and it's still barely reached 1 million copies sold. 30,000 plus refunds within the first couple of days. A game that took $400 million to make, plus another $200-300 for marketing. That comes out to about $700 million, and it has only made $100 million. But yep, she showed those haters real good. Corrine admitted in this interview that his purpose wasn't to faithfully follow the established franchise and give longtime fans what they wanted, but rather to use it as a tool to force his own personal beliefs into the series by reinventing it. Reimagining. We have an incredibly diverse player base. Yeah, that didn't even play the game. Because you're so focused on diversity that you just didn't write a good story. You didn't make good characters. If they're trans, they're gay, they're whatever, but they were terrible. Tosh, great, diverse character. She's a diverse character. She was poorly written. She wants to talk about respecting her while she respects no one else. No one else. So it's, you need to respect her, but she doesn't need to give you any respect in return. Because that's exactly how this fucking person thinks. I demand and I require that you respect me and my personality and my how I identify, but I don't need to give you any respect in return. So if I call you like a cisgender and you say not to, I don't care. That's exactly how these types of people think. But yeah, you sure showed them, Corinne. Yeah. With those 30,000 plus refunds and The $700 million budget that only made 100 million back. Oh yeah, you really stuck it to those haters, huh? And it was a beloved game. It is going to go down in history as one of the greatest games of all time, right? Their motivations and expectations. No, we told you what motivation, what we expect, and you people just shit all over that every single time. So you don't care what the player wants. You don't care what they want. You don't care what they say. If they have valid criticism, you block them. You call them phobos and ism. So the fact that Dragon Age is a Veilguard, yeah, this fucking, she is a terrible character. Terrible character. So the fact that they gave the Veilguard #1 in the best game of 2024, it's completely laughable, and it shows you how they really think. Plenty of games, plenty of games that came out that were millions of times better, but nope, nope, that's not what they're looking for. We're looking for, we gotta get those checks going. Let's see. There are people of color in there. Yep, there's people of color. Is there LGBTQ plus? Yep, there's LGBTQ plus representation. Is there mentioning of modern identity non-binary? Yeah, yeah. That word shouldn't actually exist in that medieval fantasy. So yep, we got that. Man hating, got that. Rejection of true femininity for trans femininity, check. So it's clear what they think, it's clear what they want, and a good game is not what they want. But as I've said before, modern gaming, welcome to modern gaming, where it's not about the story, it's not about the game, it's about all the ideological bullshit that you can force into it. So anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.